Welcome to Hannity, and we begin tonight with a Fox News alert. New York Attorney General and devout Trump hater Letitia James once proudly stated, quote, "No individual, organization, entity, or elected official is above the law, period." Today, those words finally rang true. Just hours ago, New York's top law enforcement official was in fact indicted by a grand jury in Virginia on bank fraud charges. Now, remember, she ran on a platform. She's going to get Trump, go after one man, one family, one organization. And then, once elected, she cooked up a wild civil case against the president, asking a New York judge to penalize Trump for supposedly, interestingly enough, overvaluing his Florida mansion, Mar-a-Lago, on a fully paid off bank loan. Everyone got paid back. And by the way, she went with an $18 million valuation, and it's closer to $1 billion, $1.5 billion. But according to federal prosecutors, it was James who was committing mortgage fraud herself in 23 in order to secure a better loan and better loan terms on a second property. We're going to give you all the details coming up. Greg Jarrett, Jonathan Turley, they will break all this down tonight. But we begin with peace in the Middle East, all thanks to a groundbreaking peace deal from the White House. Now, this deal is so major, so historic, that even the left-wing legacy media mob, they are even praising President Trump tonight. According to MSDNC, Democrats, well, they could not have even dreamed of accomplishing this under Joe Biden. Take a look.
The deal that President Trump is announcing played a key part in negotiating is a significant change. This war was blocked for 2 years. President Biden, who preceded him, was unable to find a way to stop it. President Trump found that way by being tough on both sides. And he'll take a victory lap for sure over the next few days, but it's deserved. There's no way that I can see that this would have been done without Trump's pressure in the final hours.
Now think of that. That was on MSDNC, a network dedicated to smearing, slandering Trump for an entire decade, peddling lies and conspiracy theories one after another. That's not all. So-called journalist Martha Raddatz, who literally wept on air when Donald Trump won. Even now, she is singing his praises on ABC Disney. Take a look.
There's no question that if this goes as planned, if we see those remaining hostages freed and Israel begin its withdrawal, it is a remarkable achievement, and President Trump most certainly deserves credit for his role. He has done this through diplomacy, pressure, and the sheer force of his personality and persistence. He dispatched diplomats again and again, made threats just in the last few days to Hamas, saying again if they did not sign the deal, all hell would break loose. And they had the bombing of Iran as an example of that. But perhaps most importantly, he pushed Benjamin Netanyahu in ways his predecessor and others have not.
All right, let's be very clear tonight. We're not cherry-picking clips. On every single network, there was wall-to-wall praise for President Trump. Take a look.
Yeah, I just need to underscore what an enormous moment this is for so many people in this region, for the people of Gaza who have endured 2 years of war, for the families of these 48 remaining hostages who have endured 2 years of absolute agony. This is a watershed moment. President Trump announcing that the first phase of this plan will indeed move forward.
And it's a momentous day. There's not much good news in the world. This is great news. I am trying to hold it together, honestly.
Make no mistake, it looks like President Trump has actually pulled off something here that many presidents before him have failed to do.
We've heard it again and again from a number of people today, really giving credit to President Trump for getting this deal over the finish line. What are you hearing from your sources with regard to President Trump's role in getting both parties to sign off on at least the first phase of this peace plan?
Well, certainly this is an enormous moment for the world, but also for this administration.
I think this is news to celebrate.
This is a huge accomplishment by the Trump administration.
This is a major breakthrough and a huge accomplishment for the president. After months of deadlock, the hostages set to finally come home.
Let's see how long it takes for them to get back to, let's see, racist, fascist, Nazi, democracy in peril. Now, at the beginning of his second term, President Trump vowed that success would be his greatest revenge. He was telling the truth. Now, the peace deal will go down in history as a turning point in the entire Middle East, and it was President Trump. He did make it happen through the sheer force of his will. And now take a look at your screen. He's bringing them home. All the hostages will be returned. And meanwhile, U.S. personnel already stationed at Central Command will monitor the peace agreement in coordination with other international forces that are on the ground. It's amazing news that even, well, fake news CNN forced Trump-hating Congressman Dan Goldman to actually credit the president. Nice to see. Take a look.
Why do you think that this was not doable when President Biden was in office?
I think the biggest problem that the President Biden had is there was no pressure from Qatar, from Turkey, from Egypt. They were actually facilitating in many ways what was going on. And that is really ultimately how it all came together.
So, I mean, but I think by saying that, it's sort of an acknowledgement Trump has changed that dynamic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think
absolutely.
that.
I mean, he's clearly.
I don't know how he,
changed
you know, and I think there's a lot that remains to learn about what prompted that change. But I do agree, yes, somehow, some way that changed.
I don't think Biden can have a conversation longer than 5 seconds. Anyway, unfortunately, most Democrats still don't have the courage to give Trump any credit. Obama, Schumer, others released disjointed statements praising the peace and the deal without mentioning President Trump. As if what? It appeared out of thin air? Also, shocking silence from so many squad members who have been loudly screaming of late the war needed to stop. You would think they'd be happy today. And tonight, on another front, congressional Democrats, they're continuing to play petty politics with no end in sight, shutting down our government to appease their radical base. Schumer declaring that during the shutdown, quote, every day gets better for us. Well, I wonder if Americans and our military not getting their paychecks feel the exact same way, Chuck. Now, of course, no one is buying the Democrats' terrible messaging. This morning, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries called out to his face on CNBC. Take a look.
There was an election, and the Republicans were put in a position where they were able to pass the big, beautiful bill, or you call it the big, ugly bill. To then say, we don't like any of that, so we're going to shut down the government until you take back all the things that you duly passed through legislation. If Republicans had tried to do that to the Inflation Reduction Act or the any of the acts that Biden and that administration have passed, if they said we're going to shut down the government because we don't like any of those things you did, we're going to not pay our military, we're going to, you know, not allow the government to reopen until you do what we want. After an election where the American people put Democrats in power, you'd be going crazy.
Take a look at the contrast. Democrats, they are busy blocking a clean, continuing resolution that would simply fund the government at current levels in order, what? To fight for free health care for illegals and refund PBS, NPR. At the same time, Donald Trump has been very busy putting together an unprecedented Middle East peace deal that will save countless lives and hopefully alter the course of human history in that region and around the world. This is a moment of vindication for the president, but more importantly, it will make the entire world a better, a safer place.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.